how do I bring what I built, the solution that I know my customers need, and get this in front of them in a way that is affordable, effective, and scalable. I've been working with startups and scale-ups for a long time, and we noticed a pattern. When a technical founder gets a team together and builds a product, they then have to go and find their customers. Typically, the most successful route that these folks have found is something I like to call founder heroics. A founder goes to events, a founder makes phone calls, a founder leverages his network, gets their first bedrock customers, and then things stall out. This has happened to most of the founders that I know, where they're able to start delivering a service, that service resonates, and then the growth stops. And what they try to do is they try to hire a salesperson. They put together some outbound emails. They build some landing pages, start getting some ad revenue, spend to send people to those pages. And the growth is just hard. Well, we found some things along the way that has really helped us rekindle that growth. And what we found is you have to have a full go-to-market engine. That engine should include SEO, it should include landing pages, it should include some sort of authority builder. But at the end of the day, what you need to build is a full ecosystem, a full market strategy. It has to be based off of authority, and it has to obviously take the founder's voice and amplify it. So what we found that works really well is leveraging our media channel through the catalyst effect. So our podcast helps us capture the founder's voice. And we have done this hundreds of times through our Voice of the Founder series on the Catalyst Effect podcast. That gives us enough artifacts to build 10 to 15 really good social media artifacts. That could be of short videos, should certainly include a VSL. It's going to be several stills with targeted messaging in them. And from there, we could use that to both drive authority with our email campaigns. So the email campaigns sounds really easy. And I've seen people do this run a million times where they take what they're thinking, they turn it into an email, they go and they look for some leads, they start sending emails. They all go into the spam folder. They don't get any follow-up. If they do get some sort of follow-up, it's traffic to a landing page, which they really can't track. So they don't know where that's coming from, where it's going to, and they don't know how to follow up because people don't understand the campaigns. For a go-to-market strategy to work, you have to have a very strategic pathway. Remember, the sales funnel starts with familiarity, but it doesn't stop there. Once people are familiar with you, they then have to build interest. And from interest, they have to get into the phase where they're negotiating or investigating the company. And then they have to get into an engagement phase. These funnel phases don't happen on their own. They have to be nurtured and groomed. And most scale-ups, most founders don't understand how that works. And if they do understand how it works, they lack the authority to build it and to have it convert. And if they do have that authority, they lack the infrastructure. If they have the infrastructure, a lot of folks are missing the messaging or the campaign. There are 7 foundational elements to a successful go-to-market strategy. And to go from the concept phase into a scaled phase with your go-to-market strategy, it requires a team, it requires infrastructure, and it requires a very specific strategy. That's what the Glowbox Authority go-to-market product is. We have productized what has worked for us and has worked for countless startup founders. We've leveraged voices of experts such as Jeb Blunt's Fanatical Prospecting, Donald Miller's Story Brand, the Viral Genius framework from Fernando Labastida. And all of these things come together to help you build a social media cascade that helps you build authority. And then offer this authority as information to your customers when you reach out to them through SEO, paid advertising, or our Glowbox email system. These emails are highly effective if you are reaching out to the right person and bringing them messaging and new content that is valuable to them and spoken from a position of authority. All of these things come together into a scalable go-to-market strategy that is fueled by intelligence and artificial intelligence. I'm going to encourage you to go to the calendar link that you'll see included here on this page and schedule a 30-minute discovery call. We're going to come in and we're going to determine if our offering is a fit for you and talk about some ideas of how you can finally get the growth engine that your company has so desperately sought for.